former president of the United States, Donald John Trump, was in Texas. I actually had some friends who went to the rally. They said it was a great time. It was like a family reunion. Everybody got caught up. It was good to see people. Friend of mine sent me a text message and said that 45, he said, was fired up. And it was just a fun time to hang out and see friends. But you will notice, I think, the people most likely to tell you what President Trump said in Texas are people on the left, people in the news. They're wringing their hands about it. They're furious about it. In fact, over the weekend, every major story on the Politico's website was about Donald Trump. Didn't have anything above the fold on the Politico where you don't have to scroll down on the monitor. They didn't have anything about Joe Biden. It was all about Donald Trump. And of course, they have trotted out all sorts of anti-Trump hysterics now to attack Donald Trump and attack Republicans for not denouncing him, and on we go. There's a unique derangement about Donald Trump and the American press corps. They have a symbiotic relationship, a parasitic relationship, if you will, that they feed off of each other. What I find notable, in all honesty, is that I don't have any Republican or conservative friends who are breathlessly emailing, texting, or otherwise in conversation about, did you hear what Donald Trump said? Oh my gosh. Now, I know those people exist. And while I had friends who were there at the rally, none of them are like, oh, I can't wait for this guy to be back. Some people do. But a lot of people kind of understand if Donald Trump were to get reelected in 2024, he would have exactly 4 years. The Constitution prohibits more than 8 years for a presidency, with one rare exception of a vice president who takes over in the middle of a president's term. So Trump would at best get 4 years, where any other Republican would get 8 years, could get 8 years, has an opportunity to get 8 years. Trump would immediately be precluded. He would immediately become a lame duck. The moment he's elected, he becomes a lame duck and everybody else starts vying for the future of the party. Might as well go on and deal with that now. It doesn't make strategic sense for the Republican Party or even Trump supporters to put him in for 4 years. And of course, the media says, but he's going to get in and never leave. He wants to end democracy. They're furious with him. The media is. George Conway was on CNN talking about he wants to end democracy. You got all the high dudgeons on CNN and Fox, and it's just nonstop. Michael Beschloss, the historian who wanted Joe Biden to be the second coming of FDR or LBJ, says it's authoritarianism for Trump to want to pardon the people. And Trump goes off on Mike Pence at the rally. Trump says Pence could have thrown it out. In fact, Trump also said, why do they want to change the Electoral College Act if Pence didn't have that power? Well, they want to change it because while it's widely agreed the vice president doesn't have that power, they want an exclusive or they want an explicit provision in saying he doesn't have the power so that future presidents don't get duped by bad advice. Donald Trump's not a lawyer. They want to make it explicit for the people who aren't lawyers that know this isn't possible. But interestingly enough, based on Trump's own argument that Pence really could have thrown it out if he wanted to, he's essentially setting up Kamala Harris. Does he want Kamala Harris to have that power to throw out an electoral college vote he disagrees with? I mean, that's his position, is that Kamala Harris has the power. If Donald Trump were to beat Harris and Biden, Donald Trump has the power, Kamala Harris has the power to say, nope, not going to do it. We're going to stick around. The whole thing's rather absurd. But the larger issue here, the more important issue here, is that people on the right don't care. We've moved on. The only people who aren't moving on are the people in the media whose ratings depend on Donald Trump staying around. Or the political strategists who made their name by going after Donald Trump, the Project Lincoln types, which apparently I read the other day, Project Lincoln is apparently defunct now. It's gone out of business. They've all moved on or something. They've all committed in different ways to try to stop the rise of Donald Trump, whatever. So the people who need Donald Trump to stay famous so they can stay famous are the people most likely to want to prop up Donald Trump and linger on every word he said. Part of me also thinks that a lot of what Donald Trump is doing now is the same stuff he's done in the past. He's just trying to get a rise out of people. Out of some of the crowd, they get excited by it. By the left, they get upset about it. But everybody talks about it. What I just find amazing and interesting here, among everything else, though, is that Donald Trump really came to prominence in 2015, 2016 because MSNBC and CNN gave him a massive pile of free media coverage. I remember distinctly there was a moment where I think it was Wolf Blitzer, he was a CNN anchor, watching Trump Force One land. This is while he was a candidate. And they were giving the coverage as if Air Force One had landed in Moscow for the first time. I don't even remember where it was, but I remember it was just Trump 757. They're like, that here comes Trump Force One, the Donald Trump campaign plane. It's landing. We're awaiting candidate Trump. He's going to be speaking to a massive crowd, and they cover the rallies. And it got him ratings. It got him a lot of media attention. Got him a lot of free coverage. It got the media a lot of eyeballs. They loved it. And then he became the candidate. He became the nominee. Suddenly, we can't cover him anymore. We don't want to cover that racist. After they've been giving him inordinate amounts of airtime, suddenly he's the racist that they don't want to cover. And now that he's gone, they're like, oh my gosh, we got to start covering Trump again. Look at our ratings. Look at the people who've left us. I mean, CNN has cratered in the ratings. CNN is one of the most obsessive about covering Trump. In fact, this morning, the top story at CNN was about Donald Trump. And they've since moved it to the center column. Trump offers chilling glimpse into possible second term. Former President Donald Trump conjured a vision of a second term that would function as a tool of personal vengeance and become even more authoritarian than his first when he vowed to pardon U.S. Capitol insurrectionists if he runs for the White House again and wins. His pledge at a Texas rally Saturday was accompanied by a call for demonstrations if prosecutors in New York who are probing Trump's business practices and those in Georgia looking into his attempts to reverse his election loss in the state do anything that he defined as wrong or illegal. The comments underscore Trump's obsession with delusional lies that he won the 2020 election and his determination to put that falsehood at the core of the Republican worldview. This is CNN. CNN is obsessed. As much as they say that Trump is obsessed, they are obsessed. They need him. They need him. You know, ironically, so Facebook and Twitter, they take Donald Trump off their platforms. And now we are reliant on members of the media who cover Trump to tweet, to disparage him about what he said for any of us to know. Fox News isn't covering his rallies live anymore. I think Newsmax carried it for a little bit. OAN, I guess. Nobody's watched it anymore. It's going off DirecTV. They carried some of it. But you're more likely to get coverage from CNN and MSNBC than Fox News about Donald Trump. Why is that exactly? Because they need him. They don't have to like him, but they need him. I mentioned all the coverage Donald Trump got for free from CNN and MSNBC. It inarguably helped him in 2016. One outlet noted that it amounted to billions of dollars in free advertising. Donald Trump did not have the money to get the coverage that he got. He didn't have the money to advertise to equate to the airtime that he got from CNN and MSNBC and Fox News. It really helped him. If they just stopped covering him, he would fade even more. And they say, no, he wouldn't. He's still generating crowds. People are paying attention. People are eating up. But the crowds are smaller every time. The polling in support of his run for office in 2024 continues to decline. A lot of Republicans realize, whether they haven't said it publicly or not, that it wouldn't be smart to give a guy 4 years who couldn't run again when you could give someone 4 years who has a really good chance at another 4 years to get a total of 8, who could fundamentally transform America back the way Trump voters want it. And they're moving on. But the press needs Donald Trump. The press requires Trump for their own ratings. The New York Times subscriptions are down. CNN's eyeballs are down. MSNBC viewership is down as well. All since Trump faded away. They became standard bearers for Trump derangement syndrome. And now that he's gone, the ratings are down, and they are doing their best to bring him back while claiming they want to stop him. And you know how they want to stop him? Giving him inordinate daily coverage, breathlessly, telling everyone what he says, when everyone else has moved on